Hey guys, welcome back to the Boss Podcast. I'm Mindy Linscomb, your host, and we are here to tell bridal owner success stories. And in the studio today, we have Jenna Dailey. Hi, Jenna.
Hi.
I'm so glad you joined us today. You are such a great owner and bridal shop entrepreneur, and I
Um,
love getting to know you over the last couple of years. What a joy it has been. I would love for you to tell everybody the name of your store and where you're located.
yeah, so we're Jay Collection Bridal. We're located in Van Wert, Ohio.
For those of us that don't know where that town is, where is that?
The very northwest corner of Ohio in the middle of windmills and cornfields.
I love it, and you just gave me a little peek across the street, and you are literally on the town's main street and at railroads. This is just like a small, cute town.
It's very all American.
I love it. Did you grow up there?
I was born here, but I wasn't raised here. So I was raised in a town about 2 hours from here, and I moved here about 6.5 years ago, really 7 years ago.
Did you come back for any specific reason?
That is a long story.
Okay,
The short answer is my family needed me to move closer to home.
got it. So they lived in this town.
They live in Bryan, which is about 30 minutes from here.
Okay, but way to prioritize family. Proud of you.
Thank you. Yeah, you always have to choose family over everything else.
I love that. Where did you go after college? Did you live in a different state or anything?
I did. I moved to Indiana, Winona Lake, Indiana, and I went to Grace College. It's just a tiny Christian college that I got a cheerleading scholarship to. I really only toured like two schools, and I thought that one was the prettiest, and I got a cheer scholarship. So I thought this will be great.
Like, it's the one.
That's the one. Yeah, and I like the school colors.
Just where did you go after college?
After college, so I graduated college in 2010, and this is when the economy was still crashed. So there weren't a lot of job opportunities at the time. But my degrees in communications and journalism, and my hometown newspaper was hiring a summer intern. So I applied and got it, and the rest of my friends went back to grad school because there just were not jobs available. But my internship turned into a full time job, and I became the farm and education reporter for the Bryan Times newspaper.
Wow, that is cool. In small world, I study communication too.
Did you?
Huh.
Yes.
Yeah, but you're totally right. It's like, what do you do with that? And there's a variety of things that you can do, but it's always hard to know, what's going to be the next open door.
Yeah. I think my dream was to do broadcasting, but I just landed in newspaper journalism. So I did that for about 4 years and then transitioned into pagination and copy editing and then did a whole other slew of jobs after that.
Wow. Okay, so then when you moved back home, is it like right away that you thought, hey, I'm going to start a bridal store?
Not quite. Close. I watched a lot of Say Yes to the Dress. Who doesn't? I'm a millennial, and I grew up with Say Yes to the Dress, and I love Randy Finoli and Haley Page and Panina Tornay. And I remember watching that show thinking, like, I could do that. Like, I just know I could do that. So I was in the process when I was living in North Carolina of working with a realtor to find a source space. And I was ready to just jump into it and somehow start my own bridal shop with zero experience, by ad, except for watching the show. And when I needed to move back to Ohio, when I was pulling into town, there was this sweet little bridal shop on the corner right downtown. So I just walked in and asked her for a part time job. And she called me that same weekend because all of her staff had called out and she was fully booked. And she just gave me a bride. Mind you, I have zero experience except for watching the show. But I thought, I'm a communications major. How hard can it be? Right. So I got her into this corset dress, and first 45 minutes on the job, I sold my first dress, and like I was hooked after that.
You're like, I got to do this.
I got to do this. When people would ask me what I did, I would always tell them about my part time job first, and then be like, "Oh yeah, and I also do this dumb full time job that I'm really bad at."
Oh my goodness. Okay, so, how long did you work there before you decided to have your own business?
About 2 years, I was a part-time stylist on just on weekends, and the owner was looking to sell and retire, so she approached me and said, "Hey, I would really love to retire. I would love to sell you the business." And I turned her down at first. It is really scary when you're a single female and you leave a steady job with steady paychecks and health insurance and retirement. And I just thought, gosh, I don't know if I can handle that big of a gamble, but no risk, no story. So I decided, what the heck? I went back to her and said, I'm ready to buy your shop. And within 2 months, here I was handing her a check for $40,000. And now I've owned it for almost 7 years.
Wow. Did you change the name or anything?
A year after I owned it, I wanted to show some respect toward what she built because she owned the shop for 10 years and started it from the ground up. So it was important to me to kind of maintain the respect that I had for her and the admiration I had for her and the business she built. So I kept the name for a year and then rebranded to Jay Collection Bridal, which was a super fun process.
Well, I was gonna say J for Jenna.
J for Jenna, J for Joy. Just kidding.
I love it. Okay, so you've had it for how long now? 7 years?
June will be 7 years. So about six and a half. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, not really knowing much other than watching the television show and doing a
Yeah.
few weekend bridal appointments. What was like the biggest surprise about doing this job that you didn't realize it was going to be like?
Biggest surprise. That's a great question. I think just the content creation. That sounds so silly, but at the time, this was almost 7 years ago, so social media was still becoming what it is today. It hadn't really advanced yet, so our social media was pretty minimal and, not great. I don't think I knew fully that social media would be my full-time job. Because in order to be successful in this business, you can't just run great appointments. You can't just have a good business strategy, but you have to be really good at social media. And that is
Which
sometimes hard for, a 30 something to do.
Yes. I can't even imagine telling you this, but I'm going to. Like when I started, I didn't even really have a Facebook account. I put an ad in the yellow pages, which is like not even a thing anymore. And like you said, never did I imagine we would basically evolve into a media company.
Yes,
Like who would have thought? But
it's
we have
ever
to tell our
changing.
story. Yeah, we have to tell our story online before we can convince a bride to come trust us with her experience.
Yeah. I kinda love it though. I have a love-hate relationship with it just because it can be exhausting to try to create all these new ideas. But I do love social media because it gives you the ability to tell your story in a way that tugs on people's heartstrings and makes them feel a little emotion. And I think that's a really beautiful thing. So it's hard, but it's also a really cool tool that we can now use, but it's definitely ever changing. It's always evolving, so it's a lot to keep up with.
But I agree with you. What an amazing tool to be able
Mhm.
to get in people's homes
Yeah.
that wouldn't normally get to visit your store until you provided that beautiful content for them to kind of feel like they got to come hang out with you in your store.
Yeah, I think it definitely allows brides to feel like they've connected with me and have gotten to know our staff way before they even come to our store. Because most of our customers aren't even locals. They're coming from Indianapolis and Columbus and Fort Wayne, Indiana, and we had one come from Kentucky and one from Cleveland. So sometimes these brides are driving 3 to 4 hours to get to us. So without our social media, A, they might not have found us, and B, it just helps them feel more connected to us in our store. So that's a really cool thing that it can do. Before social media, I don't know that they would have even been able to find us.
I agree. especially being in a small town.
We're in a very small town.
Okay, so tell me, just curious, tell me in all these years that you've been owning this shop now, what's something that you look back at and you can laugh on now that you're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that happened. But in the moment, it was really stressful or overwhelming.
There have been so many moments like that over the years.
Okay, tell us.
I remember it was like a month after I'd opened the store and I knew how to work QuickBooks, but I didn't really fully know how to do it. And I was meeting lunch with one of my friends who also owned a business, a different type of business, but still small business ownership. And I met with her and I was like, well, what have I done? Like I have I have no qualifications to be doing this and I feel so overwhelmed and I don't know what I'm doing. But now I can get the QuickBooks like in 30 minutes, but it used to take me like 2 days to do. Um, that was definitely overwhelming, and
Yeah, I don't think there are very many bridal shop owners that go into this career being amazing at forecasting their numbers.
correct. I feel like a lot of us are just girls. We're just girls who love dresses and love to make people happy, and we thought, "Let's open bridal shops," and we didn't really consider, "Oh, right, I also have to be able to do all this other stuff that's behind the scenes that's even more important than how you run a bridal appointment." But it's all a part of the learning experience.
Yes. Were you gonna say something else that had happened?
Oh gosh, it's a crazy story. I hope you're ready for this.
Yeah.
We had this bride, sweetest pie, and she ordered her dress. This was like 6 years ago, and her dress came in. She loved it. She took it home, and then 6 months later, her mom calls me just frantic. Hey, we had her dress stored, and all the beading on it is completely tarnished. And I was like, "Oh, no, I'm so sorry. Like, please bring it in. We'll have our seamstress present. Let's see what we can do." And she brought it in, and sure enough, this was like when a lot of the dresses had like silver beading cases. I don't even know how to say that, but it had a lot of like not just beads on it. So they did in fact tarnish. And I was like, I've never seen that before. That is something. And I said, let me see what we can do about this. So I'm calling the designer to see if we can get her a new dress. Meanwhile, all of her bridesmaids were also my brides. This was like from a very small town next to us where they were all getting married. They all had bought wedding dresses from me and they all come in together as a group. I was like, what is happening? And they're like, Miss Jenna, we have to tell you the bride that called you because her dress tarnished, she found a different dress at another store that she wanted. And so her grandma took the dress and put it in her basement with sulfur water and took it out of the garment bag so that it would intentionally get damaged so that they could tell you it was damaged so that you would refund her so she could buy the other dress.
Speechless.
Speechless. I was like, wild. To this day, I still can't believe that actually happened.
So, wait, I have a question.
Yeah.
Did you call her out on it? You didn't refund the dress, right?
So I called the mom and I said, "Hey, I had some women come into the store and they made this accusation. I wanted to hear from you what you think happened." And she was pretty aggressive and was like crying and she stuck to her story. So I'm not really sure. I do feel like I believe the girls because why go out of your way to come and tell me that? But I did not. I said she had two options. She could keep the dress that she had, and at this point, we'd already ordered her another brand new one. So I said, you can either keep the dress you have or bring it back and take the new one that's coming in, but we're not refunding you.
So what did she do?
So her sister brought in the old dress and then took the new one.
That was really generous of you.
I was really new and young, a little naive. Um,
Yes. You wouldn't do that today, right?
no. No, I would not do that today. I'd be like, "You can keep the one you have." And that's not
Did you really sell that dress?
no, so the one that she brought back to me, I sent back to the company.
Oh, okay.
So they just, like, exchanged it. But definitely quite a story. Yeah, today I would have handled that much differently, but I was really new, I was really young, and
What would you tell an owner listening that maybe is like you? What would you tell them right now?
they have really good store policies in place. Like, I make them sign our store policy agreement that states, like, a lot of that once it leaves our hands, like, we're no longer held liable or responsible for any damages caused to the dress. They also have to sign a little form that says reiterates that same thing that we're no longer held liable for any loss or damages caused to dress after it leaves our store and after this form has been signed so that we're covered. So once it leaves our store, whatever happens to it after that point, like I'm empathetic, but at the end of the day, we're not a nonprofit, we're a business and we're not held liable for that.
I guess more what I was asked. I mean, that is good advice, but I'm more asking you, what would you say to the person's mindset that is like that maybe is more like you, gullible, like you leave the story, like, and maybe just like I feel like you're just one of the sweetest people that just are like, nobody would lie.
Why would they lie to me? Yeah, I would say
The girl that maybe needs a little like nudge in her mindset.
you gotta get thick skin in this business, in this industry. Like, I think empathy goes a long ways, and I always want to have that, but you gotta have thick skin. That's been a huge challenge for me personally, and I think it's something I'm still working on, but you can't let it, like, eat you up inside. I mean, ultimately, this was something that they did, that they made a choice. It's not a reflection on you, and it's not your job to fix it once it leaves your store.
Yeah, and I was gonna say, how does this apply to, like, just everyday life? Like, even before we started recording, we were talking about different
Yeah.
choices that you get presented with, even in this season of your life. So I'm just curious, like, how has your growth as a person, from being a bridal shop owner and having to go through these hard situations, has it really helped you in your everyday life?
I think it's helped me in my everyday life because you learn to have boundaries and you learn to have standards, and I'm even looking at this even now as I'm navigating, like, my dating life because I'm, in my late 30s and I'm still dating, and it's hard when you're an empath to look at someone else's actions and see it as a reflection or a mirror of you and not it's just important to look at situations for exactly what they are and understand that it's not your responsibility to fix or change them. I feel like I'm not saying that correctly at all, but
No, I think what you're saying is like, hey, it's not your fault that the customer was unhappy, and you're realizing that you can separate what's mine versus what's yours. And
yeah.
that applies to dating too. This is mine, this is yours.
Yes. Like we all want people to show up for us because we want to show up for them, but sometimes people's intentions just don't align with that narrative. Yeah, I don't know. It's definitely tough to have those boundaries and know, like what's your responsibility, what's not. But shoot, that's tricky.
Yeah.
Being an adult is hard.
Yes. Okay, do you just have anything that you like think about? You're like, I when I got into this company, I just never imagined as a bridal shop owner, that this would be part of my life. That, like QuickBooks, for example, was one thing, but did you have anything else that you're like, I never imagined that maybe it's a good thing, like an opportunity that came along, or maybe it's like, I didn't realize weekends forever are going to be busy at the shop for my life. Like what are some things that you just maybe had no idea that it was going to be like this?
I think when you're early on and, it's before I actually bought the shop and I was just working there part-time, it's fun because it's not your money that's on the line, right? Like, you're working just because it's fun and you're doing bridal appointments because it's fun, and when it's all of a sudden it's your business and it's your money and your livelihood on the line, it kinda changes, a lot of things and the way that you look at bridal appointments and the way that you look at your social media and all of your marketing. It's a lot heavier after you buy it because that's your livelihood that's on the line. So if you don't do well that month, maybe you don't eat. Uh, so I think all of that's been surprising. I knew I was gonna have to work weekends because before I bought the shop, I was working a full-time job, and then on weekends I would work every Saturday. But now I work every Saturday and Sunday. So that's been kind of stressful, and, we're thinking about in prom season also having later hours on weekends and on Fridays so that we're able to accommodate. It's tough for prom girls to go prom shopping because they're involved in a lot of sports, they have a lot of activities, so it's important to be open on hours that they can come shop for us, but that does mean longer hours, we're a smaller store, and I really only have 2 girls who are helping me at prom, so that means I'm personally here every Saturday and Sunday, but I do take off Monday and Tuesday because I need a break.
Yeah, you do. And I think that's a
Um
big reality that people need to remember. Those hours are like for the lifetime of the business.
Um, yeah, I mean, I think it's like a double-edged sword. The great thing about small business ownership is that you get to dictate all of it. Like, all of the creativity, all of the hours, all of that is up to you. The bad part is that it's a different kind of stress that keeps you up at night that you take home with you, and you'll work really long hours. So I don't go to wedding ceremonies, I don't go to birthday parties, um, a lot of the big baby showers. I miss out on a lot of big moments for other people because I'm working and and then weekends are when we're the busiest. So if you close on a Saturday, you could potentially miss out on six to $10,000 that can make a really big impact on your bottom line. So we don't get to just close whenever we want to. That's our livelihood that's on the line. But I do miss having a Sunday. I miss knowing what that's like to like wake up on a Sunday morning and you like go to church and then go to family dinner. That like what do people do on Sundays or on Saturdays? Like mow the yard?
Do laundry, mow the yard. Well, like,
What are people doing on weekends?
for me, my kids have games, and so it's definitely hard to miss. It's hard to miss those, but
Yeah.
um, it's a part of the life we chose that provides
Yeah.
the income to
Yeah.
give our kids those opportunities. So it's like you said, a catch 22, double-edged sword.
Yep. But then, like, the good part is on Mondays and Tuesdays when we're closed, like, it's like a weekend, but then if you go shopping, the mall is basically empty
Yeah,
because everyone at work.
go to all your doctor's appointments, all your hair appointment, everything's like totally
Yeah.
available for you. Mhm.
Yeah. Mhm.
True. Okay, well, Jenna, I want people to know where they can find you guys online. Where can they, if they want to follow your journey a little bit more, because tell everyone what you're doing and competing in right now.
Yes. So I'm competing as the Ohio Petite 2026 and the Miss Petite USA pageant. It's going to be held in Chicago in July, and I'm super excited for the opportunity. It Life is wild, and it just kind of happened. I was judging my hometown beauty pageant, and my niece was competing in it, and I in 2006 was first runner up in the pageant, and I was talking with other judges and said, "Wow, I always wish I could have done one more pageant. Like, I could have competed one more time." And they said, there's lots of opportunities for pageants for older women. Like, you should check it out. And with a little bit of research, I discovered the Miss Petite, which is for women who are under 5'6", and I'm 5'3.5". And I just applied thinking there's no way these people are going to call me back. And somehow I got a call back and was selected. So now I'm competing in the pageant. But if people want to follow the journey, they can follow my personal Facebook or Instagram, and we'll also be posting content on the business as well.
That's amazing. So tell us the names and spell it out for us.
Of my Instagram or my I think it's just Jenna Dailey, Jenna, last name Dailey, Dailey.
And then your boutique candles, what are those?
Jay Bridal.
For Instagram and Facebook?
Mhm. Pretty sure. I feel like that's
Yeah. No, that's great. Well, I just want people to get to follow along and celebrate you in all of your success. I am so proud of you. I'm honored to know you and keep cheering you on as you do all the things. You are a very busy lady and you're accomplishing very much.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yes. All right. Thanks for joining us today, and we'll see you guys next time. Thank you for joining us on this episode of Bridal Owner Success Stories. I hope you found some inspiration and encouragement for your own career in the bridal industry. If you enjoyed today's episode, please make sure to like, subscribe, and share it with your friends. We are in this together.